Hey everybody, in this video we are solving the fourth example in our little recent set of solving trig equation videos, and the directions on this one are to find all solutions in radians, and this one we are going to do a quadratic type, more of the standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c, where we actually have an a, a b, and a c, and we would factor using AC method. So if you need to review how to factor something like that, because I'm not going to do it the longer way, I'm just sort of going to jump to factored form. Okay, so if you need support with factoring, go to my factoring playlist and find the video like lesson 5 or whatever it's called, factoring method 5, how to factor properly ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, go find that. It was recently uploaded. Here we go. So when you have something of this form, you have to look at it and recognize it as though it were, I'm just going to switch letters right now to m because x is used, 2m squared minus 3m plus 1. So you want to look at it like that. Now it's an equation, it's equal to 0. If it was an expression, you couldn't solve. If it was an expression, it could say to factor, simplify, rewrite, whatever, evaluate, I guess, but it wouldn't say solve. And if it has an equal sign, you have to keep that equal sign the whole entire time. It's an equation, and the directions will typically ask you to solve, unless on the other side of that equal sign was f of x or y. In that case, it's probably going to ask you to graph or something to that effect. So I'm going to factor this. I'm not going to stop and do like a substitution step. I think that that unfortunately a lot of people forget to plug back in what they subbed, and it can mess you up. So I'm not going to do that. So it is already in the form I like. I'm going to set up my double bubble. First times first has to be 2 sine squared x, or sine squared theta, or sine of x quantity squared, whatever you want to call it. 2 is only going to be able to be multiplied and get 2 sine x squared x by multiplying 2 sine x and sine x. This has a coefficient of 1. So the 2 times the 1 is 2. Sine times sine is sine squared. So that's where I am. That's first times first gets me that guy right there. Now 1 is neither prime nor composite. To be prime, you have to have two distinct factors. 1 only has one factor itself. But the only thing I multiplied to get was 1 is 1. So this has to be 1 and 1. Now if that's plus, that either means they're both minus or they're both plus. How do we know? We look at our middle term. If that's a plus, both signs are whatever that sign is. So this is both negative. If you think about y, the outer is negative 2 sine x and the inner is negative 1 sine x, and if I combine them I get negative 3 sine x, which is in fact my middle term. So your outer and your inner will give you your middle term. So that is factored. Okay, kind of like a guess and check, figure it out kind of method. Again, if you need more support, please go look at the playlist. Once something is factored, and it had to be equal to 0 first, once something is factored, we use something called the zero product property. That means you take each factor and individually set them equal to 0. So that's what I'm doing right now. Then I'm going to add 1, divide by 2. So I have sine x is equal to 1/2. And then I have sine x equals 1. So now I'm going to solve both of those. So you have to ask yourself the number 1 question. The sine of what angle or angles is equal to 1/2? Sine of what angle or angles is 1/2? So up a little. Same thing we saw in another example. You're going to see a lot of these things over and over again. Bear with it. Deal with it. Sine is equal to 1 right there. So now if I just wanted to list my answers between 0 and 2 pi, well, I would say that theta equals right there. That one is 5 pi over 6 right there. That one is pi over 6, and right over here, theta is pi over 2. But that's not what the directions are asking for. The directions asked for all possible solutions. So what do? I'm glad you asked. So we write it as an equation because we want every answer coterminal to these angles as well. How far apart are coterminal angles? Well, if it's radians, it's 2 pi apart. So instead you would write theta equals, you get your first answer in the case, pi over 6, plus 2 pi, and how many times do I add 2 pi? N, where n is an element in the set of integers. Then I could also do theta equals, same idea, 5 pi over 6 plus 2 pi n. I already said that n is an element instead of integers there, still holds true. And theta equals pi over 2. I guess if I was going in order, I would have listed that one next, right? That's the second one, third one, but whatever. Plus 2 pi n, and there you go. And n is still an element in the set of integers. So if you're getting all the solutions, you have to leave them in like this nice little, what we call a general solution. It's just keeping it general. Could be anybody, right? So there you go. that's the end of that one. Hopefully we're doing a little bit better. We feel good, happy, and you know it. Thumbs it up. If not, thumbs it down. Check the playlist. There's lots of other videos for you, and questions, comments, concerns, and requests can go into a comment, and as long as I see it before I'm done, I will make your wish come true. All right, bye for now.